Hello students, welcome you all in the lecture of dynamics of machine. In the previous lecture we have started our new topic, that is dynamic force analysis. In the dynamic force analysis the topic which we are discussing is the dynamic analysis of slider crank mechanism. Slider crank mechanism is an inversion of 4 bar mechanism. Okay, so here we are having crank which is rotating clockwise direction with an, let's say, angular velocity of omega. Okay, and we have a piston of mass m which is having the simple harmonic motion which we have derived in the last lecture. Okay, so first discussed we have calculated the displacement of the piston. Displacement was coming x is equal to r1 minus cos theta plus n minus under root of n square minus sin square theta. Okay, then we have differentiated this displacement and calculated the velocity. So velocity is coming v is equal to r omega sin theta plus plus 2 plus sin 2 theta divided by 2 under root of n square minus sin square theta. Okay, now we are coming to the acceleration part, that is acceleration of the piston. Okay, acceleration of the piston. Acceleration is nothing but the rate of change of velocity. Okay, so of acceleration of piston acceleration of piston. Okay, so acceleration a is equal to dv by dt, rate of change of velocity. Okay, so rate of change of velocity we are writing in such a way that dv by d theta into d theta by dt. Okay, this d theta by dt is nothing but the omega. Okay, and dv by d theta means we have to differentiate this term v is equal to r omega. This term we have to differentiate. Okay, so we are writing it as a is equal to acceleration of the piston is equal to, okay, acceleration of the piston equal to d by d theta of r omega sin theta plus sin 2 theta by sin 2 theta by, okay, sin 2 theta by 2n. Okay, taking an assumption that n is very large. Okay, so we are taking that assumption also, and this one is omega. Okay, this r and omega is independent of theta, so it will come out r omega square. Here differentiating this sin theta with respect to theta, we will get cos theta, and here plus sin 2 theta will convert into cos 2 theta divided by 2n, and differentiation of 2 theta will give 2. Okay, this 2 will cancel out, so acceleration is coming r omega square cos theta plus cos 2 theta by n. Okay, so this is equation number 6. So acceleration of the piston is coming r omega square cos theta plus cos 2 theta by n. Okay, corresponding to the force which is acting on the piston will be equal to F is equal to, let's say, m is the mass of the piston or the mass of the reciprocating component. It will come m r omega square, F is equal to m into a cos theta plus cos 2 theta by n. Okay, so this force we will use in the next topics also. Okay, so if we are having certain conditions, like if n is very large, okay, if n is very large, so from here, so From here we can write, if n is very large, then very large then this acceleration we can write r omega square. Okay, r omega square, this n is very large. When this quantity is large, then this whole quantity will tends to 0. So we can write r omega square cos theta, r omega square cos theta. These are certain conditions. Okay, now one acceleration we are calculating when theta is equal to 0 degree. Theta is equal to 0 degree means when this crank is in the line of IDC and ODC. Okay, when theta is equal to 0 degree, cos 0 1, cos 0 again 1, we can write acceleration is equal to r omega square 1 plus 1 by n. Okay, and when the second extreme position we are calculating when theta is equal to 180 degree. Okay, when theta is equal to 180 degree, then acceleration is coming r omega square x, this one cos 180 degree minus 1, and this part will give cos 2 theta will give 1. Okay, so we can write 1 plus 1 by n. So these are the two extreme condition, acceleration in two extreme conditions. Okay, so this is the analysis of the velocity and acceleration of the piston. First we have calculated the displacement. Calculated the displacement. Then with the help of displacement we have calculated the velocity by putting condition. The velocity is coming r omega square sin theta plus sin 2 theta by 2n. Differentiating this velocity term, we have achieved the acceleration part. So we are having displacement, we are having velocity, we are having acceleration of the reciprocating part. Okay, so the next analysis is corresponding to the connecting rod. Okay, so next one we have to calculate the angular velocity and and angular acceleration of connecting rod. Okay, angular velocity and angular acceleration of the connecting rod. Okay, so from the basic diagram, this one is the crank of length r rotating clockwise with an angular velocity of omega. Here we are having connecting rod L, which is having some kind of the angular motion. Okay, which is having the some kind of angular motion, means theta, when theta is equal to 0, certain position theta will be this beta 0, certain position this beta will be maximum. Okay, when this crank will come to its extreme position, this beta will be maximum. After that, when the crank will rotate in this direction, this beta will start reducing, it will come negative in the another extreme position. Okay, so this beta is nothing but beta depending upon the omega. Omega means beta is a function of time. Okay, so from here we can calculate that this quantity we are taking, we have to take account of this angle beta. Okay, so beta angle, we will have beta angle, we can calculate this beta as a function of theta. So we can write this quantity, this vertical value. Okay, this vertical value is L sin beta equal to r sin theta. Okay, this value is coming L sin beta equal to r sin theta. Okay, so from here we can calculate sin beta will be equal to r sin theta divided by L. Okay, and L is equal to n into r. We have already assumed that this L is very large, so we can say this sine beta is equal to sine theta divided by L is equal to nr, rr cancel out, sine theta by n. Okay, this beta and theta both are function of time. For calculating the angular velocity of connecting rod, we can differentiate this, we can differentiate this equation with respect to time. Okay, so we are differentiating this equation with respect to time, taking account that beta and theta both are function of time. So differentiate with respect to time. Okay, now differentiate with respect to time, this will give, we differentiate with respect to time. Okay, and both are function of beta and theta, both are function of time. Okay, so it will give cos beta, sin beta differentiation cos beta, and beta differentiation d beta by dt equal to 1 by n differentiation of sin theta will give cos theta d theta by dt, d theta by dt. Okay, now this d beta by dt is nothing but the angular velocity. Okay, rate of change of angular displacement. Okay, we are taking the connecting rod is having angular displacement beta, so this will give omega c. We are writing this one is the connecting angular velocity of the connecting rod. Okay, omega c we are getting d 1 upon n cos theta by cos beta, and this d theta by dt, d theta by dt is nothing but omega, angular velocity of the crank, angular velocity of the crank. Okay, so from here we can write, now we can give the value of cos beta. Cos beta we can calculate from here, then cos beta will come sin square beta plus cos square beta equal to 1. With by using that formula we can calculate the value of cos beta, and cos beta is coming 1 upon n under root of n square minus sin square theta. Okay, how we are getting this? This one is sin square beta plus cos square beta equal to 1. Put the value of sin square beta here and we can get cos beta. Now put this cos beta value here, 1 upon n, 1 upon n. Here we are getting cos theta divided by cos beta 1 upon n under root of n square minus sin square theta. Okay, this n cancel out, n cancel out and multiplied by omega, this n cancel out, omega c, we are getting omega c, omega cos theta divided by under root of n square minus sin square theta. So this is the expression of for the angular velocity of the connecting rod. Okay, so this is the expression for the angular velocity of connecting rod. Okay, angular velocity of the connecting rod. How we have calculated? First we have equated this value a1. A1 is L sin beta equal to R sin theta, and beta and theta both are function of time. We have differentiated, and from here we can get d beta by dt, and d beta by dt is nothing but omega c. Okay, now we have to calculate the angular acceleration. Okay, angular acceleration is rate of change of the angular velocity. So alpha c, we are writing alpha c, will be equal to d omega c by dt, or we can write d omega c by d theta multiplied by d theta by dt, and d theta by dt is omega, angular velocity of the crank. Okay, now differentiate this expression of omega c with respect to theta, means we have to differentiate this one. Omega, we are taking this one omega. Now omega, 1 omega is this one, 1 omega will come from here, so we will have omega square d by d theta of cos theta. We are taking this quantity in upward direction multiplied by n square minus sin square theta to the power minus 1 by 2. Okay, so this expression we are getting. Now we have to differentiate with respect to theta. We are having two quantities, first quantity, second quantity. So the method of differentiation is first quantity differentiation of second quantity plus second quantity differentiation of first quantity. Okay, so we are following the same one. This one is omega square. Now differentiate first one, differentiation of second one. So first one is coming this one, differentiation of this one. Differentiation of this one means x to the power n differentiation. X to the power n differentiation is n x to the power n minus 1. So n is here minus 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2 we have taken common. Then differentiation of this one, differentiation of this one will give n minus 1. N minus 1 means minus 1 by 2 minus 1. Okay, so minus 3 by 2, n square minus sine square theta to the power minus 3 by 2. Okay, then differentiation of inside part differentiation with respect to theta, this will give 0. Sine square theta, sine square theta differentiation will give minus 2 sine theta. Then differentiation of sine theta will give cos theta. So this is the basic concept of differentiation. Plus second function is n square minus sine square theta to the power minus 1 by 2, and second function, second term differentiation of first function, that is minus sine theta, minus sine theta. Okay, so now combining these the whole terms, we are getting finally we are getting minus omega square sine theta, minus omega square sine theta, n square minus 1 divided by n square minus sine square theta to the power 3 by 3 by 2, to the power 3 by 2. So this is the expression for the angular acceleration of the connecting rod, angular acceleration of the connecting rod. Okay, now this negative sign indicates that the sense of angular acceleration of the rod is such that it is tends to reduce the angle beta. Okay, so the sense of this negative sign is that it is going to reduce the angle beta. Thus in this case the angular acceleration of the rod is clockwise. Okay, so we can say that this negative sign indicates that it is going to reduce the angle beta. Okay, so this one is the whole analysis of analysis of the analysis of this dynamic force analysis of the slider crank mechanism. First we have calculated the displacement, velocity and acceleration of the reciprocating component. Okay, then we have calculated the uh, velocity and acceleration of angular velocity and angular acceleration of the connecting rod. Crank is having constant velocity. Crank is rotating with an angular velocity of omega, means this velocity is constant with respect to time, so there will be no acceleration for the crank. Okay, so this is the whole analysis of the slider crank mechanism. Okay, now the is next topic we are covering is the engine force analysis. Okay, the next topic which we are going to cover is the engine force analysis. Okay, engine force analysis means we have to calculate the total force acting on the piston, then the force along the connecting rod, then we have to calculate the force on the wall of cylinders, then we have to calculate the crank effort, and we have to calculate the thrust on the bearing. Okay, so we are starting from here, that engine force analysis. Okay, engine force analysis. Okay, in engine force analysis, what we have to consider, an engine is acted upon by the various forces, okay, such as the weight of the reciprocating mass, connecting rod, gas forces, forces due to friction, and inertia forces. Okay, inertia force due to the acceleration and deceleration of the retardation of the engine element, and the nature of the forces. Okay, in this section, the analysis is made of the forces, neglecting the efforts of the weight and inertia effort of the connecting rod. Okay, so the same manner, this one is the this this slider crank mechanism is nothing but the engine part. So what we are not going to consider, we are not going to consider the weight and inertia of the connecting rod. Okay, means in actual position there will be weight, but for this analysis, engine force analysis, we are not going to consider this one. Okay, so the main forces main forces comes from the the main forces comes from the combustion of gases. Okay, main forces comes from the combustion of gases, which acts on the piston. Okay, so first force which we are going to consider in any engine is the piston effort. piston effort Piston effort. Okay, the effective, this is also known as the effective 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 driving force. Effective driving force. So this is the main force which is going to drive the engine. Okay, so this one is also known as the effective driving force. Piston effort is termed as the net or effective applied force on the piston. Okay, so for calculating the piston effort, we have to take care of three components. First one is the we have to take we have to take care of the forces which are coming from the combustion gases. Okay, that force is known as the gas gas, that force is coming due to gas pressure. Okay, so so first term we are going to consider is the force due to gas pressure. Okay, let's say area A1 area is the area of cover end. Area of cover end. Okay, second one we are considering A2, that is area of piston rod. Okay, P1, I will explain all the terms. P1 is the pressure of the cover end cover end and P2 is the pressure on rod end. On rod end. Okay, m is the mass of reciprocating part. mass of Mass of reciprocating part. Reciprocating parts. Okay, so what we are considering is we are having piston. Okay, we are having piston. There are two ends. One is This one is the piston. One is On the one end we will have the connecting rod. At the one end we are having the connecting rod. Other end we are getting the pressure from the gases. Okay, so this area we are considering this part we are considering the cover end, means A1 area is this one. A2 area is the area of piston rod. So some area will be taken by the piston. Okay, so this area we are considering as A2. P1 is the pressure of the cover end here, this side where the gas pressure is coming, that is P1, and pressure on the rod side via this one is P2. Okay, M is the mass of this reciprocating part. So the net force which are acting due to gas pressure Fp will be equal to this force total. We are calculating force pressure multiplied by area, P1 A1. Here we are having the negative pressure, okay, that is minus P2 into A2. Area is the area of piston at the cover end. This one is the area of the connecting rod. Okay, so some area will be taken by the connecting rod. Here we are having the minus because this is the negative pressure. Here we are having the positive pressure, positive in terms of because it is going to produce the work. Okay, so first we have taken the force considering considering the force considering the combustion of gases. Okay, because of combustion of gases we will have the pressure on the piston wall. Due to piston wall pressure we will have the force on the piston wall, and that force will act as a driving force. Okay, now the next force we are considering the inertia force. Okay, we all know inertia force. We all know that inertia force always acts in the opposite to the movement of any mass. Okay, if the mass is moving in the right hand direction, inertia force will act in the negative direction. If this is positive direction, then inertia force will act in the negative direction, and this inertia force always opposes the movement of any mass. Okay, so movement of any mass, this is going to oppose. Okay, so this inertia force we have taken from there. The last lecture we in the last topic which we have discussed, the acceleration, that is m r omega square cos theta plus cos 2 theta by n. This is the inertial component that we have taken into account. This one, the force which is acting on the piston, that is the inertia force m r omega square cos theta plus cos 2 theta by n, cos 2 theta by n. Okay, now this inertia force is going to oppose the driving force. So the net force, okay, so the net force on the piston, net force on the piston will be equal to F P minus Fb. Okay, Fp is the driving force due to pressure, and this Fb is the inertia force. Okay, in case of friction present, if we are taking account of the friction also, okay, friction, if we are taking account the friction, then the net force will be equal to Fp minus Fb minus Ff. Okay, so we can say that the friction is also going to oppose the driving force. Okay, in case of vertical engine, okay, so this one we can say that this is the horizontal engine. Why this is horizontal engine? Because the piston is moving in the horizontal direction. Okay, let's say we have converted this engine as a vertical engine. Now this engine is known as the vertical engine when this mass is reciprocating in the vertical plane. Okay, so what we have to consider, if this driving force is acting in the downward direction, now if we have considered the mass of the piston also, then mg will also act in the downward direction. From here we can clearly see that the mg will also considered. So mg is also acting in the downward direction, which is going to increase the effort. Okay, so in case of vertical engine, in case of vertical vertical engine in case of vertical engine, this F will be equal to Fp plus mg minus Fb minus Ff. Okay, so this is the net net piston effort. Piston effort means the net force which is acting on the piston. Okay, which consists of the gas pressure force. Okay, which consists of the mg in case of vertical engine. This fb is the inertial force. If friction is present, then we have considered friction also. Okay, so this is it for today. Thank you.